Think we're live. Test on the audio. All right, here we go. We're officially live. I think we've got audio. Do mic tester real quick. All right, if anyone's watching this, we don't have audio, please comment. Alrighty, here we are. Probably have to just edit out that first part, but who cares? You can do whatever you want. It's the internet. This is the first episode of the Worst Post-Match podcast. We're just going to talk MLR rugby, US rugby, other things that are going on, maybe some random stuff when we start having guests and people chiming in and comments and all that good stuff. But here we are. I'm John Cullen, the host of this show, former professional rugby player with the Utah Warriors, as well as a U.S. Eagle and collegiate rugby player at the University of Utah. So that's me. I'm excited. Just finished up my playing career-ish. Retirement's a loose word when it comes to those circumstances, but look out for the guys at Earful of Dirt podcast. Probably be on there next week or two, and maybe we'll get down to the nitty-gritty of retirement. But for now, this week we're talking rugby, MLR. Everyone was excited. We waited, almost a year and a half to get back to the, U.S. players playing rugby again. And I don't think there was much left to be wanted with this first weekend. I think there's room for some pretty solid improvement by both the streaming service, the league, and just things that we need to do to take steps going forward. Number one thing, obviously, if you're watching, there's one person here. That's cool. But if you see this, share the video, like the video. I'll put all the links below for the YouTube page with which this show will be on going forward. Just did not do my 24-hour notice to go live on YouTube. I'm learning this social media game and this content game as I go, but I'm super excited. Also, shameless plug, this episode unofficially is brought to you, I gotta do opposite, it's brought to you by Hard Dive Clothing. Buddy of mine's clothing company does some pretty cool t-shirts, veteran owned and operated. I'll put the links below to some of their social media pages as well. All right, let's dive right into it. This weekend, everyone was looking forward to it. I think the Rugby Network was an absolute success as a whole, right? I don't think I saw anyone complaining about the stream quality or being able to go between the games, anything like that. I think they knocked it out of the park when it came to their streaming quality and how fluid it was. One big thing for me, right? I don't know who in the hell was in charge of scheduling or... Right, I think it was a big fail that we all look forward to this. We're all waiting, and the first thing you see when you click on it is a high school field and dead silence. We just can't have it. I think the league can do better. I think the network can do better, and I think they will. But it just needs to be addressed, right? It needs to be addressed more. Everyone's always so like, just be happy that something's there, and I'm like, yeah, kind of, but let's address it. So the next time, they're at a production meeting and they're sitting there, it's not just like, hey, we could fix it. It's like, oh, hey, people are talking. We need to get this fixed immediately, right? I think it was a big letdown and a huge disparity between the opening game. Probably should have been LA, New England, right? No knock on San Diego and Rooney. That probably would have been a phenomenal game played in a stadium. But the visual of the Coliseum and that probably would have gone over leaps and bounds for that climactic thing that the MLR was probably looking for to kick off the weekend. Say what you want to say. I think the ownership of San Diego and the league needs to do a lot better with that field. That's an unacceptable place to play a professional game. You know, the weather's the weather, but that's not where you play professional sports, all right? And yeah, they need to do better. They need to find those guys a stadium. I understand, you know, we're going through all this stuff with COVID and different things, and San Diego, it is what it is with Torero, but, you know, when you look at your neighbors to the north in the same state that found the Coliseum to play at, you know, they had to make a left turn to Vegas. They had to do this and that, but we got to be better. We've got to be playing these games in stadiums. The players deserve that. They don't, you know, you don't need to be getting changed in a tent next to a field for a professional rugby game. It's just, you know, that's not what professional sports is. It has to be better. And hopefully they'll get there. Eventually they get there. I don't know. I don't have any ins with San Diego. I'm just the guy, you know, calling stuff out as I see it. So enough of that. That was about the bad. I think it's going to get better. And actually, see, this is why I love comments, because I go on tangents and miss stuff. So thank you, Kellen. I don't think there's any bigger discrepancy with that stuff and amateurism than those camera angles offered by those poor field conditions. You could put little kids in the Coliseum, have them playing rugby. It'd be a more visually appealing game than watching probably two of the best teams in the MLR. Hands down, San Diego's been one of the best teams in the MLR for 4 years. Rooney's right there with them when it comes to just talent. Like, if you watched that game, you saw unbelievable rugby talent, okay? But having them play on a grass field, you have no angle, you can't see the visuals, you can't see anything that's going on. It looks like a bunch of dudes at a park playing rugby. All right, so thank you, Kellen. That's true. The camera angles and the stadium angles in the field of a stadium changes everything, right? You put the All Blacks and the Springboks in a park and have someone on a scissor lift filming the game, it's not going to be that. I bet you won't want to watch it. So that's got to get better. It's got to improve. It's just not acceptable for where the league needs to be at. So yeah, that was my overall. That started a little negative. I want to get, you know, slowly into actual breakdown of the game. We're gonna just kick it right off with New York, San Diego. Perfect world going forward with this show. I'm gonna attempt to keep it short, keep it pretty concise. Every once in a while, I'm gonna go on a tangent, but it is what it is. And I'd like to give a unique perspective on games. Obviously, I'm watching. I've got a booklet full of notes. First, I'm going to interrupt myself. I'm going to send an apology to Houston and to Seattle. I have not watched that game. I haven't seen it. I don't have regular TV. So I've got, you know, I live the Hulu, Netflix streaming life like a lot of people do. So I wasn't able to catch that one. I apologize to my boy Sam, to Windsor, to Rook. Sorry, bro, I missed it. Heard you killed it. Obviously, if you commit penalties against Houston, it is what it is. It's been 4 years. If you commit a penalty against Houston in your own half, you're going to give up points. It's just the end of the game. I guess that'll be my quickest one. I read some of the recaps. I read some, you know, social media stuff. I heard Seattle has not gotten its shit together from last year, apparently, and couldn't get out of their own way. Houston played a pretty decent game from what it sounded like and punished them with penalties. Yeah, I kind of wish I would have watched it. That was one of the most intriguing kind of games I had. Obviously, I did my picks. I picked Seattle in that game, honestly, solely based off past performance and the thought that they were going to get it figured out. You know, maybe I'll reach out to some friends. I don't know what's going on up there. I don't know why, you know, they can't get out of their own way with mistakes and, you know, yeah, I don't know what's going on up there, right? I'll take full credit that just heartbreaking loss you guys took to end the season must have carried over. I don't know who could have caused that, but, you know, it is what it is. Sorry about it. But hopefully they get it figured out, because obviously the Seattle home stadium is one of the one of the best places you can play in the MLR right now when it comes to their fan interaction, and just how kind of cool that setup is at Starfire. I guess I'm hitting my table and shaking everything. But yeah, I'm super excited for Houston. Obviously, they have that phenomenal facility down there. Super excited for Sam. He's my boy. Obviously, he's been through the doldrums and the rough spots of the league, just like myself has with the Utah Warriors. We had a rough season. We've had rough seasons, rough losses. And yeah, that takes a toll on you. So very happy for Sam. An opening week win, I think, does mean more than people give it credit, but also may not mean as much as some people put credit into it. There's a weird middle ground of what a week one victory can mean, all dependent on your team culture and leadership and how you go forward. All right, so let's go into it. I'm going to start this with San Diego, New York. I'm kind of going to go in order, obviously skipping over Houston and Seattle. When I get my shit together and learn how to do these videos better and learn how to cut and edit and all this, I will cut them per game. If you only give a crap about what I have to say about your team that played, I completely understand. I don't always want to watch a 30, 45-minute podcast and have to kind of guess where it was. If I can't figure that out, I will for sure time tag in the description or the comments how to skip kind of to where your team played, and if you care what I have to say. Obviously, you would have just had to wait 11 and a half minutes to get to this point to find that out. So maybe I'll time tag that as well, just because, I'm a man of the people. I'm here for the people. So New York, San Diego, we already touched on the stream quality, the field quality, the post quality, unacceptable. San Diego, Vegas, the league, Commissioner Killebrew, get it fixed, get it figured out, unacceptable. I think they have an away game, so you got two weeks, right, to find a stadium. I can talk to Bishop Gorman. There's high school stadiums out there that can give a better atmosphere than that. Maybe it was last minute, whatever. Fix it. So same thing. I went 1-4-1 on the weekend with my picks. The Warriors came through for me. Thanks, boys. Appreciate it. And Nola pulled off that tie, so I just didn't take almost complete L's. But it is what it is. I went off, my prior knowledge of the teams, a little bit of guessing, a little bit of, let's just see what happens. Took into consideration the travel for Rooney, the off-season for Rooney, how much, time they would have had together, Northeast, off-season, winter practicing is brutal, right? If you don't live in the Northeast or you're from the Northeast, I'm in the Midwest now, so I'm kind of understanding what true brutal winter is like. I gave the assumption San Diego, I don't know what they were doing in the off season or whatnot. But I picked San Diego. I figured, they've got the freaking horses, the studs, the big names, all that. They were going to pull it through, but apparently they just love losing to New York week one. So it is what it is. So kind of the first things I saw, obviously, defense was a goddamn option for basically every team in these first couple games. It seemed like we'll get to NOLA, New England kind of were a step above. I think Utah was a step above. And that was pretty much it for anyone who kind of even attempted to play defense. Austin as well, because it was a close game, so Austin as well was playing good defense. But yeah, damn, that first 20 minutes in New York, San Diego, no one wanted or was ready or was game fit for defense. And I think most people expected that, right? No offseason, barely a preseason, probably. Who knows what everyone was doing in the COVID downtime. And you've got two of the most just naturally talented teams, just skillfully stud athletic ability teams going against each other. And you just saw that with super condensed shit defense, not spreading, not identifying, looking at your left and right instead of looking at what was in front of you because you didn't know where you were on the field. That's week one defense against good athlete teams. That's what's going to happen. I have no doubt both these teams will get it figured out. Both great coaching staff and, like I said, stud players. Um, what surprised me the most was actually, it didn't surprise me. I take that back. What is surprising that it's continuing is what I think is the lack of grit and toughness in that San Diego pack, because it's so overstated by their athleticism and their ability. I mean, if you took San Diego's forward pack, you could put them against probably any forward pack in professional rugby, or I mean, half those guys could probably be playing for their national teams or the national team currently, right? It is a stacked forward pack. But I think, they're a little lost in their own press clippings when it comes to their ability and how good they are with ball in hand, running, defensively, physicality. Because you're not seeing the dirty work at the rucks. You saw New York just split them apart with the maul, just walked through them, and San Diego hasn't had a defensive maul since year one. So that could be an issue going forward, right? Between Kenny and Psalm and Vita and these dudes, like ball in hand, doing that stuff, you're going to be in trouble. You give those dudes an inch of space. Like, you don't even need to give Kenny space. You give Kenny one arm length to get the ball through, he's throwing offloads to someone and they're off to the races, right? So they may overcome that lack of physicality in the dirty work or the dark work in the dark places, that's what everyone says, whatever you want to call it, with their ridiculous ability to carry and run and all that stuff. But I think they already got exposed against New York. They've got to kind of find as much passion as they have in that ball carrying as they do in smashing an opponent's maul to pieces. Or I'm going to predict, even with all those weapons and how explosive they can be with open play, when it comes to later in the season, playoff season, that last 7 minutes, if you can't stop a maul, that wears on you for 80 minutes. That's at least, I wish we had some like crazy analytics like football has that I could just pull off of stuff. But, I mean, the statistics and the percentages would probably be insane of the amount of territory that you're losing in kind of those hidden penalties, those hidden maul penalties. We talk about them all the time as forwards. If you can steal a penalty on your 10 because you went for a little cheeky maul midfield, you steal a penalty, boom, now you're in the red zone, you're inside the 22, and we're on. So that's kind of those hidden things of rugby that I don't think a lot of people talk about. Like, they make a big deal that it's a penalty, but I don't think it's explained enough that I think New York, and I'm not trying to be a homebody, but just New York, Utah, kind of Seattle when they were playing a little bit better, can steal those penalties on inside their half with mauls and things like that other teams aren't prepared for, aren't prepared to stop. So I'm checking my notes here so I don't get, I don't skip over everything. I don't have the stats in front of me. I think we're going to see what kind of the time frames are with MLR and stats, player stats, team stats getting onto the app. I haven't checked this morning. I was doing stuff this morning. This is my first hit out with this podcast. So we'll see kind of how fast that comes. Maybe I'm gonna change the schedule so I can have stats in front of me to back up kind of what you see. Also some stats in front to kind of clean up some stuff, because I remember when I was playing, you'd get like the scrum efficiency stuff where you watch a game and it would look like a team is just getting their shit pushed in the scrum. Hold on, big asterisk. I have friends and family on my Facebook page. There's going to be a lot of cussing and a lot of stuff on this podcast, so I apologize. You could see a team just getting their ass whooped in the scrum, but the stats would come back, they were like 90% scrum efficient because they like got a ball or technically a penalty, like wasn't losing a scrum. It was a very strange statistic that was very misleading going into games and stuff, especially like watching. You're like, how could you be 90%? You were getting pushed all over the field. So I'm sure like San Diego's scrum efficiency probably went well, but I think New York was dominant in the actual set piece of the scrum. And it wasn't even close. And that goes kind of back to that dirty work, right? Like, scrum practice isn't fun. Doing all these things isn't fun. Mauls, it's not fun. But those teams and those forward packs that do that that's gonna be the difference, right? You talk about the O line and D line in football. That's the forward pack of rugby. If you don't do those stuff, or that's your weak spot, it's gonna get exposed, especially year 4. So yeah, I thought Scott Green refed a pretty good game. He has his moments and his isms that make Scott, but I think hands down he's probably the best referee we have in the competition. Towards the end, I'll probably get on my soapbox and my tangent about the poor to inconsistent refereeing that we're seeing in the States in the MLR, and it hasn't quite improved yet. But yeah, overall, great job to New York on fighting back. I think they have a long way to go. Obviously, defensively, they did not play to the standard of how they used to play on defense. I think they've got some things in the back line they definitely need to clean up, and that midfield attack wasn't crisp. But again, it's week 1. No one was crisp. I mean, everyone was pretty ugly outside of LA, who honestly I'm gonna go hard on those dudes, but outside of just out-talenting New England, like, they weren't crisp. No one was crisp. It was week 1. It was ugly. You had the weather. But, yeah, San Diego, in my opinion, the most talented team probably next to LA of just straight talent, big-name dudes, right? Easily the most. Second, 1A to 1B most talented teams in the competition. If they can come together, if San Diego can kind of get their forward pack firing, they're gonna be a problem. They always are. They probably always will be. For the dawn of time when this league goes off the rails and San Diego's playing in Qualcomm or something like that, who the hell's not going to want to live in San Diego to play rugby? They're going to be a problem forever. But great job to New York. My asterisk on this one, if you ever see it, I don't know if you have social media. I try to find you on Twitter. Nate. I didn't even know it was you. But little advice, if you do the ponytail below the tape, kind of keeps things a little more controlled and out of your face. That's free advice from a fellow long hair. But yeah, hats off to New York. Good job going down there. Handled the weather, handled the adversity, handled the, San Diego going up early on you, took care of business. Week 1 victory. This game is the epitome of week 1 victory, and a week 1 loss doesn't quite mean as much, right? I think both these teams have a much higher ceiling than what they showed week 1. I'm excited to see it. I'm excited to see San Diego play in a stadium. Those players don't deserve to be changing intents before games. Get them in a damn stadium. They're professional rugby players, and they're some of the best in the country and in the world. So fix it. All right, I'm just writing down my times here. Moving on. I legitimately do have a notebook of notes. I stood there and took notes. My little preface pre-one for this one, I would like to say to the league, to the Rugby Network, if you guys see this, if you care, if anyone agrees with me or anything I'm saying, also remember, please like, subscribe, share, do all that stuff. Get the word out. Really helps me, helps the channel. It helps you do a lot more stuff on social media. I didn't quite understand how much you need the likes and shares and subscribers to actually do some of the things on different social media channels that you see content creators and influencers doing. It's only because they have a lot of followers. I didn't realize that. Again, I'm learning this content game as I go. To the league, to Rugby Network, my 2 cents, another one added on. Let's not overlap every single game. It's probably beneficial to maybe a time window or I'm not sure, each fan can watch them and kickoff times. I understand that's a whole deal. But, for the maybe true fans or obviously the poor, retired has-beens in my now current possible, hopefully future profession, to try to watch and bounce between every damn game is a nightmare. Um, Obviously, I spent most of my Sunday either rewatching or finishing a half or this and that, and that's my prerogative because I'm trying to do this stuff. But I think there's probably a benefit to maybe doing a back to back instead of so overlapped, or maybe a 10-ish minute, right? Like I can get the last 10 minutes. I'm only gonna miss the 10 minutes of the next one, not a whole half. That's my 2 cents. Do whatever you want. You guys make a lot more money than I do, but for the fans, I think it'd be great. All right, LA, New England. I was waiting for this one. I didn't. I've went over in my head what I was gonna say about the LA team and Adam Gilchrist 500 times since they announced their stupid name with their colors and all that stuff. And it's funny not the irony, but between what he's doing in Austin and what he's doing in LA. One, I commend him as a businessman of knowing your market, but I completely dislike him as an American rugby guy, whatever, because it's not doing anything to help American rugby players, right? Not his job, but when it comes to sports, I am a blindly, red, white, and blue star-spangled bleeding patriot. And I only want the U.S. players to improve and get better and this and all that. I say that I have teammates from all over the world who I love. They're my boys. I love them. But secretly, selfishly, inside myself, I want the MLR to benefit an American-born player before anyone else. I think everyone agrees with that statement because other guys would want that too. That's probably why they had to come here because their unions don't do that. So, I get it. It's an enormous catch-22 within rugby and the rugby culture. I'm just saying, no matter what, I'm going to be more excited about a collegiate player getting a shot than some freaking stooge superstar from overseas coming over on his retirement party. Saying that, I've watched some interviews. I wanted to give a legitimate opinion on Gitz and AAC and Meeks and Cottrell and these dudes coming over. Like, it's hard for me to want to shit talk these guys because I like all those dudes. I root for the Rebels. I love the Brumbies. Those are some of my two favorite teams to watch. I like Billy Meeks. I like AAC. I like Gitz. They're great players. My issue, and I'm slowly turning, is I don't want to see the MLR be the last hurrah retirement party like the MLS went for a little bit, okay? If you're coming to, prove yourself, play good rugby, improve the game, all that good shit, that's awesome. I'm all about it. I'm here for it. If it's just I'll go play rugby in America, it'll be fun. I'll enjoy it. Get to travel around and, it's American rugby. I'll go play. Fuck you. Kiss my ass, dude. I'm not about it. I'm not ever going to support it, right? If you're coming over, you want to prove yourself. You want to prove yourself to get back to Mitre 10, to Super Rugby, to get a gold jersey, to get a black jersey, to get a jersey. That's what you're here for, dude. I'll 100%. But if it's just I guess I'll go play in America. All right, well, you can kiss my ass, whatever, right? Patriotic guy. I don't want to be thought of as the That's I'd say the same thing, right? If some basketball player's I guess I'll go play in Australia because, it's Australian basketball. I would hope the Aussies would be like, you know what, fuck you, dude. Or, if I was I'll go play football in Lithuania, it's football, Lithuania, I'll be fine. It's kick rocks. All right, that's my soapbox. That's my tangent. I don't think those dudes are like that. I wanted them to be so I could dislike them even more and talk shit on the Giltinis. I don't think they're like that. I've watched a couple of the interviews. I think they legitimately want to play good rugby. I think they want to improve the game. Do I know for a fact they want to cash in on the American market? 100%. Good for you. It's the American economy. What the hell is your owner doing? That's why he's here. So it is what it is. Into the game, obviously, I picked New England. I wanted to pull the upset just to kind of prove that, this whole freaking mercenary out-of-country rugby roster thing wouldn't work. But, that team's full of freaking studs, man. Like, they're full of studs. You've got in that back line alone, how many Wallaby caps? Somebody tell me or post below. DTH makes everyone look bad at every level. And from 7s, 15, it doesn't matter. The dude on the wing in 5 meters of space is a problem. Like my number one thing I said, DTH Vandermeer is going to be a problem for everyone, no matter what. Don't care. I do think they have a lot of improvement to make. Now they put up a lot of points, so it's weird to say that. I don't think New England was ready. They were further away than I thought they were going to be. I gave them a lot of credit. I think they'd been together longer than I thought, but they hadn't had a preseason game. I was listening to, forget who announced that game. I think it was Tolks and Dallin. They did a pretty good job, by the way. Obviously, Dallin and Dan are the GOATs. Everyone else kind of needs to step it up, but Tolks and Dallin did a good job. Toddy, my boy, Todd, what was that sideline? What was that sideline commentary? Somebody show him where the camera is. I love you. I don't think Todd wanted to be a sideline commentator. I think he wanted to enjoy rugby. I'm speaking for him, but, I get to make jokes on here. But, yeah, I think LA has a lot of improvement to make. Their set piece line out was pretty clean. I think they can be exposed in the scrum with some of these teams with the elite scrums in the competition. When that back line gets firing, the league's going to be in a lot of trouble. They're not going to see the gaps in the space and the defense they saw that week one. Like I said, New England was not ready. Defensively, they weren't ready. Emotionally, passionately, I think they were ready. I think you saw that. I think I don't know if there was some words before, some whatever, if their coach just got them fired up because, he said LA's out there freaking lounging on the beach for their preseason. We're in goddamn Boston winters, freezing our nuts off, getting ready for this game. Whatever the rah-rah speech was, it worked. I mean, New England wasn't taking shit. They were out there, to prove a point. We're not scared, this and that. I don't think they were. I don't think they were out physical at all. They were out talented, and they were out spaced and out gained. But they met them physically. I don't think LA is going to pose a physical threat. I didn't see anyone really on that team. Angus Cottrell's a freaking animal, but he's not going to be throwing ragdolling people around and making crazy runs. He's just an absolute workhorse stud. I love Angus Cottrell. I'm glad he's here. I'm glad Billy Meeks is playing here. I like seeing these dudes. I just want to make sure they're here for the right reasons, and the MLR isn't some joke little retirement party. Okay, I'm passionate about it. It bothers me if it's ever talked about like that. So it is what it is. It has a long way to go. It's not Super Rugby Oz. It's not Super Rugby Aotearoa. It's not the Prem, right? I get that, but it's also not whatever. I think I'm trying to read my chicken scratch here. Obviously, both teams have a long way to go in the scrum. LA, I think, can be exposed in the scrum. New England has not had a strong front row last year or into this year. So I think both teams have a long way to go in the scrum. New England has a long way to go in the line-out. I'm a big Josh Larson fan. Love Josh Larson. I think he's a great player. He's a stud. I cannot remember the other second row's name, but they have a long way to go in their line-out. They don't have, that elite height. I think they're going to have to get real creative with their movement and their pattern. But love Josh. My heart was with Josh as a captain and former captain of a rugby team, seeing cards left and right and decisions being made and this and that. I actually thought Derek reffed a pretty good game. That kick, dude, I don't know. What are you gonna do? I wrote down. Yeah, I got John pulling up. I don't know. What do you, everyone does this. I don't know. The rules say you have to do it. I was like, yeah, but what's the point of rugby? Did he kick him in the face? Okay, like I'd say, how do you spin arguments? Did he kick him in the face? No. Did his foot touch another player's face while moving? Yes. So is that a red? Jesus, I don't know. I hate this new red card rule. I think it's crap. I think if you're gonna do something like that, make up a double yellow or something like that, right? Because what happens if, say, worst case scenario, right? And I'm backing John on this because I think it's a pretty unanimous thought that he didn't mean to kick somebody in the face when his leg was already going for the kick as another human being is diving for a ball. It's a freak play. Now, mind you, if someone does kick somebody in the face, or someone gives you the freaking forearm bicep hello to the face and knocks that dude out of the game, fails an HIA, is carted off, and it's just a 20-minute slap on the wrist, and you get to sub back in. Well, now both teams are 14-14. There's no benefit and there's no punishment for that. I think there is a gray area between yellow card infraction, this double yellow, bigger punishment than 10, but not quite full game infraction world. I think we can find that, and I actually agree with that. But I also think there is a world and a realm of rugby and rugby infractions and incidents that do deem you're fucking gone, dude. Like, you're gone, your team's down 14, it is what it is. You got to do better. Now, the chaos and controversy that will ensue between the interpretation of the laws by refs from double yellow to red, whatever. Hey, that's business, baby. That's good TV. That gives me something to talk about. But I think it can be found, and I think that's something going forward. Not this weird trial red. I'm probably going to be against it the whole season. Again, who gives a shit what I have to say? I'm just a dude on the internet. But I don't think I think it. I see where their mindset is, but when the situation comes up, and God forbid it does. Look, talking to a dude with a bunch of head injuries. I don't wish head injuries on people, but what do we got? 16 teams. How many games a season? How many tackles are being made in a season? Times that, carry the one, divide by the common denominator. There's going to be a head injury, head collision that happens. And God forbid it's serious enough that he's out, and then the other dude's out, and it happened in the 50th minute, and then we're back to normal. There's not enough punishment, in my opinion. Shout out Brad Leone, in my opinion. Thought Derek reffed a pretty good game. Again, I don't think New England was ready defensively. I think they have a long way to go. You saw huge gaps on some of those back peel plays, and just their general line-out defense. LA exposed them. And then some of the gameplay, I know they were down a man a couple times, but you can't have 5 dudes in a Mighty Duck V just walk into the try zone. So New England's got a long way to go defensively. I don't think LA is going to be a 40-point a game team. I think they're going to see some teams that are going to smack them in the mouth, right? Give them a little, how you doing? They're not going to give them that type of space, and the defense is going to improve. I'd say probably about week 3, week 4, you'll probably start seeing these scores. About week 7, week 8, they're going to jump up again as attacks get super crisp and super accurate, and it kind of gets to the point like good defense is only good for so long. But yeah, I picked New England. I was wrong. I think it's good that the league is expanding. I think a dude like Gilchrist is good because he wants to spend money. He wants to do big things, and that is good. And he's a homer for Aussies, which he's supposed to be. He's an Aussie. But again, I'd kind of like to see them more involved. There is no shortage of talented rugby players in the state of California. They got big names. He's spending the cash. I don't know what the side deals are for those dudes to be living in Venice or Santa Monica and making MLR money, because we all have a salary cap, and I don't think the MLR salary cap and the accountants, because I don't even think most teams have a damn accountant, can be manipulated and misconstrued as much as the NFL can. I think it's a lot, teams are stuck a lot more. So I'd like to know what some of those side gigs are, but good for them. All right, moving on. This is getting a little long. I got to be faster, but we got a lot of games to go through. I'm going to skip this. I'm saving my boys for the last because that was an emotional game. One game, I skimmed over this one. I saw parts of the first half. I watched, kind of read ATL Toronto. I was dead wrong on this one too. I picked Toronto. I did not take into consideration, this was based purely off Toronto's resume. They've been Toronto, right? They've been probably the class-ish team of the East. They're basically Canada's B-side. They have pretty high expectations. I would expect them to perform at a high level. So purely based off resume, I picked them to go down and get the win in Atlanta. The teams that were a little more prepared to play defense outside of the first 15 minutes, because I don't think anyone was ready for game fitness, game physicality, and all that, right? Because how many times did we see in the first 15 minutes of games 2 to 3 tries scored, and then everyone went, oh shit, right? I think plenty of cameras were picked up with, fuck. That's what's going through the player's head. If you guys are ever wondering, that's what they're going through when the second or third try is scored before minute 20. Fuck. And then everyone gets tired and the game kind of mellows out and finds its groove. Obviously, both teams similar in style, play, very structured, very disciplined, good coaching, and they kind of live and die by their structure. I heard a couple of the announcers talking about how Scotty's trying to get Atlanta to play a little more open, which would be good. I'm probably super biased. I don't know if Toronto's going to play open. They live and die by the structure and just just structure you to death until you get sloppy or make a mistake and they take advantage, which is a efficient style of rugby, and they win a lot of games doing it. So I'm not bad-mouthing it from the results. I think it's fucking boring and lame and not that fun to watch. And obviously, for the first part of this video, I'm not ever going to root for a Canadian team to win the MLR, but they live and die by their structure, and when their structure's good and that forward pack is rolling, I thought Atlanta fronted up on Toronto's forward pack phenomenally in that last 80 and then a couple of those goal line stands. But both teams, kind of tail of the tape of both teams, right? It was samesies kind of playing each other. And you just kind of saw where a little mistake or the meticulous kind of mistakes or positive things will lead to a score or get you that kick or the penalty, flip the field, do it again, flip the field, do it again, flip the field, right? Not crazy, super exciting to watch, right? But you're getting wins. And if you got to win ugly or you got to win boring, right, week by week, who cares? If, by week 9, Atlanta is out there throwing the ball around, Sonny Billin, getting through, throwing, getting creative with the structure still kind of here in the back and it's locked them in, they're going to be a goddamn problem, right? Because when you have the confidence and the ability to play that open, within a gate, if you had a fence around your yard, right, that's your structure, but in the yard you can kind of do whatever you want, those are the most dangerous teams that exist. If you just walk your fence line, well, I hope you got super good fitness. I hope you have elite level fitness and elite level patience 1 through 23. My opinion, obviously, because I played for a team that it was unanimously known through the league for the most open, unstructured play that existed. I think the best we played was obviously last year and now into this year, but I'm not talking about them. But, right? If your yard is your game plan and you have a fence and then everything inside that fence is go, 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 but you don't jump out of your fence, those teams are unstoppable, right? When everyone believes in the fence and believes in the guys playing, unstoppable, all right? So I didn't take into consideration on this pick the kind of shit that Toronto's had to go through. I probably should have taken a little more thought into the difference of what the lockdown meant in Canada compared to us, some of the rules, uplifting everything to move to a different country. Like San Diego had to move to a different city, that's one thing. Now you're coming down to a different country. The logistics of that blows my mind, right? Like, you're talking just like, okay, can these guys even use their phones? Like, I know we have Wi-Fi and this and that, but okay, you can only use your phone in your hotel. So now how's your social life? Like, how's your social life, your family life? All right, that kind of sucks. All right. What are you doing for their money, for cards, for this and that? Are they paying transactions depending on, right? I know there's a mild transaction fee between US and Canada purchases depending on what card, but like, that's a whole other thing. Like, that's something that I don't know if a lot of people are going to talk about or think about. They're like, oh my God, they had to move. And I was like, yeah, but there's a lot into the day-to-day of a human being living in another country, right? Last minute. Now, things can get fixed. You can get phone plans. You can get a card. You can get meal. Like, they can get this taken care of, but was it taken care of before this game? Like, have they been going through it? Who knows, right? I didn't take that into consideration or how much time they've had to practice. I just went off resume. Atlanta proved a point. You know, they are going to play like a Scott Lawrence team is going to play. They're going to play structured. They're going to play disciplined. They're not going to make stupid mistakes. They're probably going to clean up their defense. And I don't know what drills or whatever they're doing to kind of open up and exhilarate that attack. If they get that figured out, they're going to be a problem. And I should be doing this more. I'm going to look for it way more. I'm just, figuring out my time frame and schemes of watching every damn game. It's a lot, and it's different when you're just watching to kind of watch instead of when I was watching to dissect a team to beat them. So I kind of got to get back in that mindset. But shout out Ross Deacon, clutch freaking play at the goal line, get the penalty for the turnover to basically get the win. Ross is a freaking stud. I think players need to be highlighted more for doing stud shit. I like Ross. He's a good dude, awesome competitor to play against, freaking tough as nails, Irishman. And, there's a million other things that lead to game-winning plays. I fully get that, but fuck it, because someone had to make the play. Ross, you made the play. Shout out to you. Good job. Keep it up. All right. We're getting a little faster here, but also because I kind of skimmed through some of these games. All right, I'm going to jump to Old Glory, NOLA, and I was right and wrong at the same time. I was wrong in my perception of that game. I'm going to have to call Nate or Cam, give them a what the hell. I assumed, right? I was like, all right, Old Glory was killing it last year. I mean, I can't remember the record off the top of my head, but you want to talk about exciting open attack playing rugby? Old Glory was killing it. Also, again, the proud service member American in me, it is very hard when I have to root against or pick against the Free Jacks and DC, Old Glory. Not because it's DC, because this is not a political show, but gross. But their name is Old Glory, and they have a goddamn American flag on their jersey. Like, you know how hard it is for me to root against those guys? And I've got good friends and former teammates on every damn team. But, I've got some Army teammates up there. It's hard for me to root against DC. And I might not going forward if they can get their defense and their set piece figured out. Because their line-out needs a lot of work. They need some height. And they need to sharpen some things up. I was 4 points wrong. I think I called that there was no chance at this point the score line was going to be under 60. So I should have had it pulled up. Let's see. I might be quick enough. I want to say it was 26-26, so yeah, it was 4-ish points off or whatever. But both teams very similar in their style, open, attack, run and rugby, all that good stuff, everything you want to see. I think we saw, both of them had the week one bug of not crisp, not accurate, slippery ball, and that's not weather. That's just that game day. The ball gets slicker, hands become a little more, when that game starts happening. Another dude is actually gonna hit you, not give you the old tap on the butt or shoulder hug that you've been getting in practice. He actually wants to hit you for a purpose. So that'll clean up. I have no doubt. There's no question. Both those teams are going to clean up their attack. It's going to get crisp. I think the level of inaccuracy and crispness with NOLA surprised me, just because I gave them a little more gut instinct that they were going to be a little more together. Again, I don't know what their offseason looked like. I don't know how long they had. Like specifically, like you can see when people start posting on social media and we're back at it and all that. I don't know what else they were doing outside of that. Obviously, love Nate. He's one of my coaches with the Eagles. So good friend, and kind of was like, yeah, I'm going to pick NOLA. And obviously could have gone 50-50 with that one, and it wouldn't have mattered because they ended up in a tie. And I think it was kind of fair. It was a fair tie. It was a pretty evenly matched game between very similar teams and teams that going forward will continue to be similar. They're going to want to outscore, outplay, and outrun their opponents. Like, both of them played out of their own 22 a couple times just to see it, right? And I guarantee, knowing Nate, I know he was like, boys, just go, see what happens. And I don't know the DC coach, but probably the same thing, right? Like, look at the back line we have. Look at the attacking ability that we have. Just go for it. And then, if it doesn't work, we'll clear it out in one or two phases. So one thing I will say that I did notice, and I think it's a respectable aspect of the Kiwi game and Kiwi players specifically, their accuracy and decision-making at the breakdown is kind of one of the things that I believe sets New Zealand players apart from most. Their accuracy in their clear-out technique, in their poach, and when not to go into the scrum. So, again, I'll do more research. I don't know every single New Zealand player on DC, but I think however many they are and whoever's doing it, they've implemented that because you can see their decision-making at the breakdown was a level above NOLA. I think NOLA just made bigger plays when it counted. And it was semi-surprising to see NOLA being out-physicaled at the breakdown, right? Again, I don't have the stats of what the ball possession breakdown, all that stuff was in front of me, but visually, by eye, they were getting out-physicaled and have stress put on their breakdown at the right times. Not just every break, like any freaking knuckle-dragging Neanderthal can just be like, ooh, C-ruck, hit ruck, C-ruck, It's at the right times to defensively implement stress into a breakdown. It's a game changer, and it's a goddamn art form. So whoever's doing that in DC, keep it up. I think that is like an understated, probably undercoached or understood beauty of the game that most people aren't going to see. If you're watching this, maybe look out for a little bit. Like, look out when you see some dude running in, but it was useless. And you're like, oh, why did that poach work? Why did that work? Where are we on the field? What attack pattern did they just run? Did they go out the back where they were isolated? Did they have two forward phases in a row? So I know they don't have many on their feet. This might be poach time. How did the ball carrier fall? Did the tackler get cleared out? So now my tackler assist is quick. Like, there's these nuances and beauty in the ruck alone that DC's doing a good job. So keep it up. Stud player of the game for me was Carl Meyer, the fullback for NOLA. Again, I think that dude is going to be an absolute problem with the tee and with his legs. So, yeah, good job, both teams. Freaking hard fought, went for it. Sorry, I'm doing my notes so I can do my timestamp so people don't have to listen to me for an hour straight if they don't want to. Also, podcast brought to you by Homebrewed Coffee. I will absolutely sell out to anyone who wants to give me free shit. Just gonna put that in there as well. All right, yeah. So I already gave my little preface. I don't have any good insight on Seattle and Houston. I haven't got to watch the game. However, this timing works going forward with when the broadcasted TV games will be uploaded to the Rugby Network. I'm kind of interested to see where that goes, what the time frame is going to, like, is it going to be Tuesday or what? Like, it'll be good going forward because, I might have to sacrifice a game every weekend, which will be a bummer. I want to give as much true insight as I can, but, there are so many hours in the day. This is a part-time pastime, for me right now. I just, love the game, want to be a part of it, want to be able to give maybe a unique perspective. Maybe it's not unique, who knows? I want some feedback, love some feedback. What things you want to see, what stats people want to see. My dream, I want to do like a line-out breakdown segment, when I get, in cahoots and buddy with the league and I can get some game footage or learn how to cut it myself from some of the streams and whatnot, and how rights and legalese and all that go, that'd be great. I will nerd out on freaking lineouts, mauls, scrums, set piece, and breakdown play all goddamn day, right? My dream for this and all podcasts and all rugby stuff is to just go up and up and up. I don't want to be the only show. I don't want the Earful of Dirt guys to be the only show. I definitely don't want Rugby Wrap Up to be the only show. I like those guys, but come on. I don't, whatever it is for you, right? I want everyone to go up. I want the quality to go up. So please keep liking, keep sharing, keep responding, interacting, what you want from all of us, right? If you're in this content kind of world, you're kind of at the beckon of fans and the people watching you, because if no one cares what you have to say, you don't have anyone to talk to. All right, so last game that I'll go over, and not last game of the weekend, but last game that I'll go over is shout out to my boys, my former team, Utah Warriors, giving me my one solo victory pick on the weekend. So thanks, boys. You didn't let me down. Yeah, that was an emotional game for me to watch. Yeah, again, so how do I want to word this? The word retirement next to my name is an asterisk a bit. It was a word that I chose that sounds a lot better because, essentially my value I had of myself as a rugby player did not match the value that the Utah Warriors management team had for me as a player. So that's the most, for this podcast, that is the most information I will give on that situation. So very emotional game to watch, but very fun game to watch. Love to see the boys win. Love to see them compete, pulling stuff out at the end. That could not have been more of a Utah Warrior game than we could play. Exciting line breaks, big plays, stupid, silly mistakes and penalties, and pulling some shit out in the last 10 minutes to get a victory. On the flip side, unfortunately, that might have been the most Austin game that those dudes have played. Is same thing. Big plays, open, big, exciting runs, open field, big tackles, big hits, stupid, untimely penalties and mistakes at the wrong time, and not making a good decision in the last 7 minutes. And I don't think it's a culture. I don't think they have a losing mentality in Austin. I don't think that the way they play, and the way they bust it, how hard they play, how they keep going, they don't have a losing mentality. They're not losing games in the last 10 minutes because they think they're going to lose. I want to make that very. I've played against Austin a million times. We had to pull it out of our ass to get that tie last year. They're not playing to lose games, or they don't think they're going to lose. I don't think Austin has a losing mentality, but I don't think they have found the button to press to win. I think they can. I think with Will and Bryce and some of those guys over there, they know how to win. They understand what winning is. Like, Will is coming from Glendale, where, I mean, you only lose a rugby game on every other leap year, on the solstice, when the planets have aligned. Does Glendale ever lose a goddamn game? And, Bryce comes from a winning culture of rugby. They're both good leaders. I think they're going to get it figured out. But, yeah, I think both teams in this situation played into themselves, and it led to a tight, close victory. I think Austin still has not figured out their line-out. I think they've improved drastically in the second row when it comes to the height and the purest locks that they have there now. So I think the line-out's going to improve. They're not there yet, though. And, I mean, they were light years away last year with what they were doing in the line-out. So they're making an improvement. It's getting better. I don't think they're there. That's going to be a big issue for them going forward. That Utah attack looks great. I think they have a lot to fine tune, but again, I'm going to contradict myself a little bit. Probably asterisks it, right? It looked great in that 20 to 25 minute window where everyone's attack looked great, because I don't think both defenses weren't ready. But it did look good. It looked crisp. It looked clean. It looked much more open, and the width is what we've been lacking in Utah for so long. We've been so narrow, so tight, so much freaking Utah oomph on everything. I just wanted to fucking kill people on every carry, running into full defensive wall. I mean, how many times I remember watching Phil just defensive walls. Now, we were going forward because, we have a big, strong, physical team, and that's something that I think we'll always have and take pride in. But, god damn, the width that they were having on that attack is good signs for them. I think bad signs for the league. Obviously, I take a lot of pride, and I will always be a fan. I will always be a fan of the 23 people in a Utah Warrior jersey on the field and the 2 coaches in the coaching booth. Make that very clear. But I will always root for the boys, no matter what. I don't know how Troy Aikman calls Dallas Cowboys games so professionally. He's a much better man than I am. But, I think I'm excited to see, because I think everyone's fear of Utah is really fine-tuning that structure, right? We had our gate, but we'd leave that little side gate open a lot, at least unhinged. It's like, I'm just gonna take a little walk around, do whatever I want, right? We'd leave our little side gate open. So with them finding some structure, I think that's a big problem for everyone. I think they have a long way to go. I don't think they're as polished yet to when the meeting time comes with late season San Diego. I believe they have LA next week. Should have the schedule in front of me instead of just guessing here. But this would be a podcast. I can just pull stuff up on my phone whenever I want. So yeah, nobody's there yet. They're not there yet. Oh, they have who is it next week? Toronto. So, which is a good thing. It's an Eastern team. That's awesome. That's what you want kind of early in the season. But when the meeting time comes of San Diego and LA, right? Where are you going to be? Where are you going to meet each other, right? or is it smaller? So that's exciting to see for all three of those teams because, in my opinion, slightly biased, I think those are the top three teams in the West. And it's all about the next 6 weeks of development between, rightfully so, LA at the top, and I'm going to say San Diego and Utah right here, right? Whoever figures it out. I think, again, I stand by, Utah doesn't have the big name, game-changing talent that either of those two teams have. They don't. Like, I love my boys to death, but it's not samey. Like, if you had our Madden rating, it's not samesies. And that's fine. It's not going to be. I would say, and I'd say this pretty confidently with maybe San Diego as an argument, LA is not going to have the heart and culture that Utah or San Diego has. Not even close with how long those guys have been together. There's no way. But anyways, back to this game specifically, right? I think Austin needs to find its identity in the forward pack and kind of needs to figure out what attack they're going to be going throughout. They never really quite got into their pattern. They had a lot of broken play movement, but I couldn't see how defined in the pattern they wanted to be. What the width they were looking to play with the forwards, and then that second level attack. You couldn't quite see it yet. And again, it's week one. No one looks good week one. Everybody is walking into film today with just like, oh man, we got so much to, if you're a coach or whatever, you try to be positive. But even the players, you walk in Monday after week one, you're like, good God, we have a lot to work on. What are we going to do? And it's all the team. You pick one thing and you go from there. Shout out for this game, Mason Peterson. Like, Mason just knows how to hit other freaking human beings with his body. Like, he gets the nickname the Hitman. I say he's earned it, and if you don't agree, I don't really care. He's definitely earned it. That dude 100% knows how to hit people. To the Utah Warriors, I threw it out on social media, but love to see Lance back healthy. Love to see Tucci back healthy. Could not be more proud and excited to see Bailey captaining the team. Obviously, from ending last year to this year, I don't think you could go through any stark differences of personalities between myself and Bailey, but he's, great kid, great dude. Obviously, I think almost unarguably a future Eagle in a not very long time with the way he's playing and the role he's taken, leadership role with this team that he's taken. So very excited about him. Friggin' love seeing Mikey Teo in a Utah Warriors jersey. Love seeing Ollie in a Utah Warriors jersey. That was awesome. Huge Mikey Teo fan. Huge Mason Peterson fan. And, yeah, super excited they got the win. Austin going forward, I think they are going to face the same similar struggles that they had last year. I think they have eliminated whatever problems they're having with that season where they didn't win a game or won one game or whatever. I think they've gotten rid of that. That's gone for sure. Gone. I think it's finding the button or the switch or whatever they got to do to know that they will win. Not that they want to win or can win, because I think they know they can win, but they will win. And that'll come with one, getting things figured out on the X's and O's side, and then getting the continuity together. And I think they have the right pieces of leadership, but yeah, we'll see. That's all my game breakdowns. I will time tag all those throughout if people want to see. Obviously, I go on freaking tangents in between stuff. This is my first ever podcast I've ever done. This is first time ever trying anything like this. I do have a new appreciation for people that do it. It is very difficult to sit and talk here for an hour straight, and I say too much. I can hear myself. Trust me, if you want to comment that, I understand. I'll work on it. I'm not a professional speaker yet. This is episode 1. But this is awesome. I'm excited. I can't wait to keep doing this. I hope you guys like it. If you agree, disagree with things I have to say, please comment. I will discuss things, to no end. If there's things you want me to cover, if there's subjects, if there's some crazy thing in a game that happened, some controversial call, right? Like I thought that LA New England with Poland red card kick to the face is a controversial call because he's not kicking him in the face. His face is touching another person's, or his foot is touching another person's face. But you heard Tolks like, yeah, it's the rule. Like, what's Derek supposed to do? So, whatever. Kind of in closing, I didn't like this is opening up negative and might end negative, but I guess anyone who sees me making a podcast probably laugh. That's right on point. Old salty JC, but the refereeing. This is my soapbox shout out to the league, to USA Rugby, to the refereeing association of you, whatever the hell it is, I don't care. It has to be better. It has to be more consistent. And I know you've heard this to no end. You're probably sick of it, and maybe we need to start saying something different. I don't know, because when there's the psychological thing. If you keep getting told you're shitty, you're going to be shitty, right? Like if you have players or you're a coach and you keep telling your team or your players like you're playing like shit, they're going to play like shit. So with the refs, if you keep telling the refs, hey, you suck, you're not doing a good job, they're probably not going to do a good job. And I don't know what that's called. Comment below. But yeah, it's just got to be better. And here's my big tangent, right? With USA refereeing, I forget. Actually, I think it was Matt Gitto. I saw him on an interview. He said, without saying, how much you have to get to know and understand the refereeing in the U.S. is its own entity, right? I don't know what's going on with my stash here. It's its own thing that you have to get used to, which, I mean, you should have a little wiggle room with officiating, but it shouldn't be this whole ordeal. But, listen, no one is here to hear your whistle. When in the last 7 minutes of a game, just put your hands in your pockets, okay? Just put them away. Last 7, unless someone is uppercutting a puppy in the face and spitting on your family name and then taking a shit inside the William Webb Ellis Trophy and Zulu running across the field, keep your goddamn whistle in your pocket. There are so much things that we're seeing that are not penalties that are being called. It's just too many penalties. I wish I had it in front of me. I think who the first person to mention it, I think McCarthy was on the San Diego New York game. He mentioned it was double digits in the first however many minutes, and it's just let the game play. You're killing it. And if it's blatant, obvious things, obviously, a penalty is a penalty, a penalty is a penalty, whatever. But when you can visually watch a Prem game and visually watch a Super Rugby game and visually watch an MLR game and watch these breakdowns of same body movement, same trajectory, same entries, same this, same that, right? We're playing rugby. And the MLR are getting hosed, right? And it leaks up into the Eagles, because you see the Eagles guys are not taking some of these ruck routes that other teams get away with and play, and it's built into them because you get slaughtered by the officiating. So the breakdown stuff has to get better. We're not setting the precedents for the world, okay? We're not trying to drag it down to the letter of the law. We're trying to interpret to create a product that is most watchable. Okay? So, I think Scott's in charge of the refs. I think he's the head or whatever. Who cares? and he's probably doing a great job. He's probably building it up because it has. If you took year 1 to year 4, leaps and bounds better. The problem is our year 1 to year 4 improvements still have not equated to just where Super Rugby's at. And right, there's a whole that encompasses a whole thing of what obviously their referees, that's their job. Those players, that's all they do. They don't have to go to work during the day, as probably still most MLR players have to do, generally speaking. I don't know the ins and outs of every team. Speaking from experience, right? I had a full-time job while playing. But, right, that's where we need to get to. Now, improvement is nice, right? And everything I see on social media is, oh, it's gotten so much better. It's gotten so much better. Cool, but we're not where it needs to be. So I'm not saying this to like just dumpster onto it. I'm just saying it so it's brought up, and it's brought up in a video, and I have to sign my name to my word. Like I'm possibly coming at sideways people I future want to work with, and I want to have Scott. Oh my God, I want to have Scott and Derek and who's the I forget what game he had. Someone will remind me. He's one of our better refs, Aussie fellow. I want these guys on the show because I definitely want to talk. You don't get to talk to refs, and at least I think in rugby that stigma's gone. Like maybe not during the season they don't want to put stuff out there because if they get caught saying a weird thing about a team, I get it. So if I reach out and that's the excuse, I get it, right? But still want to talk of where refereeing is going in the U.S. What are the trainings like? What is the build-up, the hype, the recruiting, all this stuff. Would love to have those guys on the show. Would love to have as many players on as possible. I don't have a massive social media following that's going to grow people's brands. Obviously, that's the goal. I want more of the players on social media and on podcasts and on shows and doing all these things, getting their brand, their name, the team, what is rising tide raises all ships, right? Like that's kind of where I think we need to go in the rugby content world because it's such a weird thing and it's such a humble kind of community still. I think James Haskell talks about it the best, where it's just so frowned upon to kind of be like, oh, me, I'm cool, or like social media attention and things like that. And I think it's changing, and it's changing for the better because the sport needs to grow, the players need to grow, endorsements need to come, deals need to come, monetizing their social media needs to come. Joe Schnuffy needs to have, buy super duper 3000 protein because use Joey 20 for 20% off at purchase. Like people think that's funny and silly, but that's the step. It's got to get to there. And anything I can do to do that, obviously, if this show grows and improves, I'll sell out for it. This shirt was free. All right. So again, I cannot do my self in reverse. That's another skill I didn't realize you had to have was thinking in reverse. Shout out Hard Dive again, and love those guys. Again, please please share, subscribe, comment, talk shit, tell me I'm full of it, I don't know what I'm talking, whatever, right? Interaction, all press is good press. All interaction is good interaction. If you're just like a blatant asshole, I'm probably not going to respond to you. If you are genuinely asking a question or something like that, I love that stuff. I'll ask, I'll talk, I'll reply. Obviously I'm limited. Again, this is a pastime, but super excited. This is my first one. Ideally, going forward, this might be weekly. This might be bi-weekly. I do a little pre-game and post-game. We'll see. It all depends on time and if I can make these videos a little bit better, shorter. If I learn how to clip them so they're a lot more convenient for people to watch, that's all the goal. Again, if anyone, this is on Facebook, so I have all my Facebook friends and whatnot. if you know video editing stuff, if you know graphic people, graphic design people, all this stuff, let me know. Love to meet them, love to learn, work together. I'm all about it. But yeah, so in closing, covered all the games. Shout out to the boys. Shout out MLR. Happy it's back. Love to see you guys playing again. Super excited for the season. I'm excited to see how the tide can turn when it comes to stadiums and fans. Really excited about that. I think I know off the top of my head, Utah will have fans. I believe Atlanta had people in the stands, as far as I remember. When you watch that much, I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes the damn games start blending together after a while. But yeah, super excited. Can't wait to see how it goes. Can't wait to see some upsets and drama and everything that rugby brings. This show's probably going to be predicated on the MLR, maybe some international stuff, some Eagle stuff. Obviously, there's just not enough time in a day or a window. Whoever does this for Premiership Rugby, my hat's off to you for 30 damn games for 11 months out of the year. Like, good for you. I think we knocked it out of the park with the U.S. sports model. You get a season, you get an off season. You got your time to shine. Make the most of it. Get ready for next year. The never-ending rugby cycle, I'm hoping that takes a big turn. Comment, improvements, things that are being done. If there's some weird stuff going on, and I know I say too much, I'll work on it. And yeah, thank you. Episode 1, I was super nervous to even try this and start this, and I talked myself in and out of it 50 times. So, yeah, this will at least be coming to you weekly on post matches. Can't wait to meet a bunch of people in the rugby world, talk rugby, talk a lot of shit, and yeah, thank you.